Come on in, welcome to my home. Let's talk about the exciting world of rags. Wait, before you go away, alright, let's think about this. We all have them. We all have rags. I have a ton of rags. I will admit this. I have taken old, worn out things and created rags. And why? I don't know. I mean, really. How many rags does one person need? Well, let's talk about this because if you watch my cleaning videos, you know that I use cleaning cloths. Those are different than rags. Rags are usually something that you use that was used for another purpose other than cleaning, or another purpose other than what you were using it for. I have some really cool bar mops, which get really, really dirty because I have a tendency to wipe up things like spilled chocolate or that sort of thing, and they are big cloths. And then I also have my cleaning cloths, which are like my things for glass, my dusting. There's one which is an all-purpose one. You notice I do not have a stainless steel cleaning cloth because I don't have any stainless steel. There really is no purpose. But when we talk about rags, we talk about things which generally are old, used up things that we've now repurposed so that we can gather up whatever, clean it off, and then wash it. So what exactly does that mean? Well, my overabundance of rags has caused me to now look at them and decide I need to sort these out, because some of these rags are just big things that have lots of holes in them, and I do not need them. So I began to look around to say, well, how many rags do I need? I'm not going to count my cleaning cloths in this at all, simply because they serve a whole different purpose. But when it comes to the rags, I probably need at least two big ones, which I would call the cleaning towels. These are former towels that might have one or two holes in them, or just not be in the greatest shape, and I can use them for my car, I can use them for big spills, something on the floor, that sort of thing. One or two of those. Then we have our general purpose rags. We have the cleaning mops, which then just are, they're like bar mops. They wipe up, those spills where you've spilled water on the counter, you can wipe those up with that. So those are cool. Then I have what were originally bath washcloths. And I have an overabundance of them because I used to teach there's a whole reason for it. I used to teach a class where I use them for there, but I don't need that. So a lot of those can become rags, which are really good for scrubbing things. Those rags that you really need to get in there and scrub everything off with. Those are great. Now let's talk about things which aren't such great rags, like old t-shirts. Some of the things which I love to do is to take some of my old wash rags or kitchen stuff which has gotten stained and use those for rags until they get too many holes. How many holes is too many? You have to decide. You need to think about how many things you clean up in a week before you do laundry, and go with that. Because like I said, a lot of my rags are literally just rags. Now there is a new category for me of rags, and those are the things that I use to wipe off my groceries. I use the rubbing alcohol on them, and those are going to be softer cloths that I use that are just old bed sheets I've cut down into appropriate size so that I can use them to, clean off all of those things. But it is something to really think about that bag of rags that you have. Do you have too many? Are you even using them? Some of the rags in my rag box have been there forever, and I need to relabel it. Because it's one of those things where you have to look at this and say, hey, do I use these rags? Do I need that many rags? My towels were the biggest one. That's way too many. So I'm going to pare this down to have the two that I really need, and we'll go from there. Because I know I'm going to get some more bath towels soon. I am running out. Because my ones that I have now are getting old, and they need to go on to other better things. But the rags that I want to keep are the ones that I'm actually going to use. Holy t-shirts, that sort of thing. It was a nice idea, but it's not something I actually use. I'm actually using things that are sturdy, stand up to all these things, and have a purpose. If it doesn't have a purpose, it's not a rag, it's just clutter, and it needs to go. So that's how I'm dividing up my rags. Cleaning cloths, rags that I actually use, and then everything else that goes. So yeah, and then my rags I actually use, they're strong, they're sturdy, and they have a specific purpose. If it doesn't have a purpose, or maybe someday I'll use that item, maybe someday you won't. So you might consider getting rid of it. You might consider how many rags you've used in a week, because your life might be completely different than mine. Because, with me, the only person here, I don't use that many. Well, tell me about your rags. Are you going to go through your rags and see what has holes in it, what needs to go, what doesn't need to go? Let me know down in the comments, and I hope this little discussion about rags will get you to go through your rag box or bag or whatever and get rid of what you don't need. You can also check out these other videos that I have picked out just for you, or you can check the description for some of the links to some of the products that I use, and actually they include the cleaning cloths and the washcloths that I use for that are now rags in there. I hope I get to see you again next time.